Hi, do you wonder why math is hard for most of us? The answer is that math is pretty much grounded in logic. So, to perform better at math, we need to think better. So, let's have an example and solve one mathematical problem. Let's follow Euclid's reasoning why there are infinitely many primes. The proof is also written in my board. For contradiction, we assume that there are only finite number of primes, and maybe there are only k number of them. Now we consider multiplying all these primes, then we just add 1. Now let's divide this huge number by pi. This pi denotes any prime that is in our list. Our expression can be rewritten as two fractions. The first fraction is actually an integer, because the product of primes can be divided by the prime that's in our list. While the second fraction, the 1 divided pi, is never an integer. So that means our huge number, if you divide by pi, have always a remainder 1. In short, our huge number cannot be divided by the prime that's in our list. If the product of primes in our list plus 1 cannot be divided by the primes that's in our list, that means the product of primes plus 1 must also be a prime by definition of prime numbers. So we have a contradiction, and the assumption must be false. So concluding that there must be infinitely many primes. It's okay if you did not follow the solution. That means there's a room for improvement. In any mathematical solution, every step is derived from the previous steps. We might need to use existing theorems to help us solve the problem. So what are the topics that we should study to help us think better? These subjects are of course logic. We have set theory, probability, and proof writing. If you want a long-term effect, or if you want your kids to perform better, introduce them to these subjects. It doesn't need to be that hard. For logic, it could be as easy as the truth tables. We could assign P as I'm dancing, while Q for I'm singing. The proposition P or Q is true when I'm doing at least one of them. So the first 3 rows are all true, while the last row is false. For proposition P and Q is true when I'm doing both of them. So the only true is the first row, while the last 3 rows are all false. For set theory, here's an easy example. Let's set A contain the elements 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7, while for B, it contains 2, 3, 6, 7, and 10. If we are required to find the intersection, or in short, the common elements between the sets, the answer would be 2, 3, and 7. I think you get the idea. You want to look for yourself an example for probability and proof writing. Teach yourself how to think by studying Venn diagrams. Make sense why 2n plus 1 is always odd. If you want harder, study Bayes' theorem and why it works. To summarize, better thinking skills or logic equals better performance in math. Hope you like this video. Bye for now.